Well, welcome to my 5-minute impact. Let's get straight onto our topic, shall we? This one's all about turbocharging your goals. Now, obviously, new year, new goals, all those good things. And I've got a few ideas to help you to make them more powerful than maybe they are. Now, when it comes to goals for the whole year, that's great, and objectives, I always recommend we look at quarterly objectives as well as annual goals, because you need to break them down into bite-sized chunks. And we often take a look at the objectives, and many of you would have been taught SMART, which is an acronym which allows you to smarten up the objectives, and it still works. There's your SMART, for example. Just to zoom in a bit more so you can see that. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timed, and they do work. There's nothing wrong with them, but I've got a couple of addendums for you. The first one is this one here under the specific. I want to take a look at this one quickly for you. First of all, how specific is your goal? Now, when it comes to specifying the goal, one of the big problems we have is we make them too big or too small. So too big a goals can put you off because they're too big, or too small a goal isn't quite motivational. So what we use is this thing called chunking up and down, which is an NLP, is a bit of psychology for you. Chunk the goal up and down in accordance with what you want to do. So for example, if the goal is very small, then you might want to chunk it up to make it very big and much more compelling and interesting. So an example for you. One goal that I've got this year is to learn touch typing. I've been wanting to do this for years. Touch typing with all the fingers. I'm a 2-finger thing. And I've had it as a goal for every year for ever. I've never got around to doing it because it's too small, really. It doesn't really do it for me. So what I'm saying to you is, touch typing, what's that part of? That's the question to ask yourself. What's it part of? In other words, what is the bigger goal behind touch typing? And the bigger goal is to be able to put information onto computers a lot quicker and a lot easier. And most of the time we're typing, but of course audio is the thing as well. We can talk to computers moving forward as well as typing. So it's part of that bigger goal, and that's more exciting for me as well. Now, on the other hand, of course, you might have a great big goal that's just too darn big that you don't know where to start. And what you do here is that what small goals make up that goal, or this big, hairy, great big goal, what's stopping you to achieve that? Now, one big goal I've got is to learn AI. We probably all got that one. AI is just the way forward for our business. That's a big goal. So you say to yourself, well, what are the chunks there? Let's chunk this down. What's stopping me from doing that? What do I need to achieve that big goal? So effectively what I'm doing is I'm creating a number of smaller goals which will help me to achieve the bigger goal. And one of the smaller goals comes up this quarter, where I need to learn Copilot agents, how to create an agent in Copilot, and I'm attending a course on that. That's just one part of the great big hairy goal. And I've got several of these things going on. So that's all about chunking up and chunking down. So the second S then for you is stretching. Now, when you specify your goal, how stretching is it? I'm not talking about a big goal, because they're massive, aren't they? I'm talking about a reasonable sized goal that's stretching you, that's making you get a little bit scared, that's getting that imposter syndrome going as well. Because we can all stretch ourselves to get even more success. Now, many moons ago, I was at a school play, I think it was, or charity thing it was, and we were bidding for a charity auction, and I won this charity auction a speed lesson from the coppers. And my job was to go into this car, and this copper had taught me how to drive really fast. And I went with my mate David, and he and I went down to Bryce Norton, I think it was, jumped into this police car, and he taught us how to do all this speeding around the airfield. But then he took us out onto the big road, a dual carriageway. We're in a cop car, so we could do whatever speed we wanted. I thought, right, I'm going to go for this. So there was the speedometer. I thought, right, Paul, let's put your foot down. Let's go for this, Let's get yourself as fast as you can. So off I went, up to 50, 60, 70, pretty easy, 80, 90. I get this as fast as I've ever been. I got up to 100. I squeezed it to about 117, I think it was. And I wasn't going to go any further than that. That was pretty ferocious. 170, I stopped and we pulled over to the hard shoulder. 117 miles an hour. That was a great achievement, that was. Anyway, David then had his go in the driving seat. And within 2 minutes, David was about 130, maybe even more. He just went for it. How did he manage to do that? Well, the fact is he saw me do 117, so he set his sights higher than me. Simple as that. the goal that he set himself was slightly more than the one I set, because he's seen me do it. We've often seen this in business, haven't we? Therefore, stretch yourself, stretch your goals so that you can do this a little bit more. And there's a picture there. I've dug this out from somewhere. There's me 20 years ago, I think it was, young, with a hat on there. And there's the copper, obviously, and there's David there with the copper's hat on. Quite a lot of fun, isn't it? So that's your SMART goals. They do work, they are important, but specific and stretching is what I want you to focus on as the year progresses. Other than that, I hope that's been enjoyable, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye for now.